Boyd Harnell è il primo giornalista investigativo residente a Tokyo che ha rivelato al mondo lo scandalo, questa crudele abitudine della mattanza dei delfini. L'ha curato tanti anni fa, ne ha scritto in parecchi giornali internazionali e ha anche avuto un premio negli Stati Uniti per la sua attività. Boyd, you mentioned that a part of the ethical and the moral issue there is also a very, very social problem. You mentioned that now the big issue is the pollution of the dolphin meat, and that could be a remake of the Minamata scandal in Japan.
That's correct. Nobody really knows. The whole situation is there's a cover-up with the medical community. And the levels that I've tested on mercury meat in many different species, including the Gondo dolphin, which they call pilot whales, have been ballistic. Some of them as high as 36 times above the advisory level for methylmercury and mercury. So it is a major problem and it does kind of mimic what happened in Minamata during the 50s.
Let me ask, okay? Actually, I've asked this question to some Japanese authorities of the ministry, and they came out with a very specific, detailed memo in which they admit to the pollution of the meat, but they also say that by holding the consumption at a low level, there is no danger for humans.
Well, I say to that, that's not true at all. According to the interviews I've done with Dr. Aquino and Kumamoto, he's the top Minamata researcher, even a small amount of methylmercury or mercury in the system will have a neurotoxic effect. It will affect the neurons. And as far as the officials that you are talking about, there are no doctors there. They're all bureaucrats. How can they establish any kind of standards for whatever the levels are, for whatever the safe levels are? It's totally ridiculous. It's facetious to even think about it.
Now, what would you think about the reaction of the Taiji authorities? Why they have this approach, total refusal, they don't want to talk with us, instead of explaining if it is true that they are doing for traditional and cultural reason. Why you think they have this action? Is it really true that they are doing this for feeding their people, or there is any other gray, possible illegal business behind all this?
Well, the captive industry is fueling this. That's the main thing. They're getting so much money for these dolphins when they export them to different areas. So the main thing is they should never sell the meat because the meat is so highly polluted. They're poisoning their own people. And they've been doing this for who knows how long. Now, the thing is, comparing it with Minamata, nobody knows how many people are suffering from mercury poisoning. Over the last 20 years, they've killed 400,000 dolphins during that period of time. Where are the records? Who can go and to a neurology clinic over at Shingo Hospital and say, are you treating anybody for mercury poisoning?
Who is making money out of the dolphins that are sold to the aquariums?
Well, the brokers are making it, and then a certain amount of the money goes to the Sonic HOOP. Also, the city government is probably getting some profit from this. It's a very, very dirty undercover business. You never know where these dolphins are going. We know that 12 were sent to Turkey, and they're conducting dolphin-assisted therapy, which is another phony program to get money from people thinking that their kids will be cured. Maybe autistic kid will be, going through this swimming with dolphin program, something like that, which is totally bogus. They've done a very good study on that. Emory University, Dr. Marino did a study on that. So anyway, some have gone to China. The local broker in Taiji is Hiromitsu Nambu, and he's the guy that's doing a lot of exporting to China, mainland China, of any of the dolphins there. And then we have Ted Hammond. He's also involved in it, but now he's in the Solomon Islands.
How much can a dolphin, a trained dolphin, no, not a trainer, how much can a dolphin cost to the broker, I see?
For the broker, I have no idea what it costs the broker, but it can't be anything close to what they're profit is in exporting these dolphins. They have to ship them by air. Sometimes they're shipped dry, and in that case, many dolphins could die en route to whatever destination they're sending them to. The best way is to send them wet. The best authority on that is Rick O'Barry, because he has actually gone with a number of dolphins that have been shipped to different places, and he knows everything about that end of it. But certainly they're making very, very big money on this thing, and the aquarium people also are making, maybe, according to Rick, $1 million. He was the guy that was in the business. $1 million a year for one dolphin. That's a hell of a lot of money. It's incredible money. So you can see that somebody trying to shut it down a dolphinarium, an activist, is going to be subjected to possible violence, and they've killed several people already. They've murdered several people.
One last thing, there are also rumors, reports that the dolphin meat, which is cheap and less tasty, according with the Japanese experts, could be smuggled for whale meat. Do you have any, any comment on that? Any evidence?
Well, it could be mislabeled. They're known to have mislabeled. For instance, when they talk about coastal dolphins or coastal whales, what they're talking about are pilot whales, but a pilot whale is actually a gondo dolphin, second largest species. It has a Latin name, Globicephalus macrorhynchus. And it is something that confuses people, because they think they're buying minke whale meat or something like that with low levels of mercury, because that stuff comes from the Antarctic. So you have a thing that's trying to confuse people, and they have no qualms about selling any of this stuff to people, knowing that it's very, very polluted. So in the way I feel about it is, this is just an incredible moral obscenity.
So we can say that they are poisoning themselves by cheating themselves.
Yes, yeah, they could, absolutely, yeah. And many of them, of course, they also eat dolphin meat. They think it's healthy.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I think it was healthy.